Good afternoon. My name is Jodie Parys, and I'm here from the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. I'm here, I have two roles, basically. So I'm a Spanish professor in the Department of Languages and Literatures, and this is based on my work with my advanced Spanish students. I've been a practitioner of community-based learning for all of my career, but I'm also the community-based learning coordinator on my campus, so a lot of this work is intersecting with that work and starting to think about what we're doing as an institution to really promote more social justice and equity-minded frameworks across our campus. So to give you a little background here, Whitewater is a small community, 14,000, 12,000 students on our campus, and it's a predominantly white campus. 82.5% of our student body in the most recent census identifies as white. We also have students who almost 88% are from Wisconsin or northern Illinois, so it's a very regional campus. And almost 40% of our students are first-generation college students. So many of them are informed by life that happens in the small communities in Wisconsin and Illinois. So this is kind of the world that they come from. So my goal in this class, it's an advanced Spanish class, and I integrate community-based learning, and I also integrate throughout the entire semester information on immigration in from across the U.S. border, with the goal of interrogating the immigration rhetoric that's happening across our nation and trying to lead my students in the process of forming an informed decision and informed opinion about immigration. So their world really contrasts with what is really happening. So they are not, many of them have no knowledge actually of the immigrant caravans, have very little knowledge of what's happening at the border region itself. And when I asked students in the beginning of the semester to tell me kind of what they know about immigration, unfortunately,
thousands of criminal aliens
pouring into our country.
They're not people. These are animals.
Our country will be overrun.
And these are the things their families have told them. Some of them actually say these are the things they believe. So it's a very difficult starting point. Take into consideration the fact that in addition to this population, I also have about 10% of my students who are Latinx students in those same classes. So when I ask them what their experience with immigration is, it's very personal. And many of them tell stories of their families who have come across those borders, who have struggled to bring them here. So trying to bridge those two things in one class is quite a challenge. So what I try to do, this is the course itself. You can see our course objectives. And then we also are a LEAP campus, so we have, it's a general ed course with global perspectives. So we frame it in this knowledge of human cultures and personal and civic responsibility. So that's how I frame it for everyone to try to help them understand why is this in my advanced Spanish class, right? So what I do is I combine experiential learning with critical analysis and critical inquiry. And students participate in a community-based learning project throughout the semester, a minimum of 15 hours. And these projects and partnerships have been formed through my work in the community. So I'm part of an organization. I was actually invited by the Latinx community leaders in our we have two counties that straddle the university, to really we come together monthly and we talk about the needs of the community, we talk about the assets of the community, and we talk about ways that we can partner. So from that work, we've identified ways that they feel that we could most effectively partner, including mentoring and tutoring of ELL students. We have a very large population of ELL students in our local school district. There's also a lot of adult ELL classes and the need for childcare for the families that are participating in those classes. There are citizenship classes at our local literacy council, so they would like assistance with those. We have several bilingual and multilingual parishes and schools in our area, and then health and dental clinics that specifically serve those communities. So there are a lot of different partnerships, but in all of the partnerships, students are working with community partners that are directly serving our Latinx community, and many of them are immigrants and newly arrived immigrants. So they're working in that area, and these are partners who are aware of my goals and are helping me in this process. And then I have an ongoing process in my class where we're really interrogating kind of our identity and our perspectives and our ideas about immigration. So it starts with self-reflection, asking students to really look at their own construction of identity, what experiences they've had with that identity. Then we look at some nonpartisan articles on immigration, trying to break down that rhetoric and get behind it and understand, okay, where are we as a nation? Where have we been as a nation? What are some of the proposals that are out there? We look at documentary films on immigrant experiences. They have a project where they are able to either research the immigrant experience of someone that they know or someone that is famous, or they have quite a few. So they students bring in the experience of others that they know, and then they engage in written reflection and research on immigration in our local and regional communities, partnered with reflection, connection, and taking time to deconstruct the rhetoric. So with their community-based learning, let me just see here. Sorry, the 1 minute sign is like, sorry. So in the community, they're working to, so I try to make it parallel. So there's introduction to the community, introduction in the classroom, and trying to make sure we're aligning our goals. We're looking at partner identities, and we're engaging in conversations about identity and reflecting on our own identity and trying to look at using critical race theory to really interrogate that process. What does it mean to have white privilege? What does it mean to come from the communities that we do? Then we work together on shared goals related to the immigrant experience in our local and regional communities, while they're also conducting research on immigration so they can understand the historical and current perspectives on those goals. We're communicating and collaborating. It's both a bilingual and bicultural process. They're co-developing plans to sustain these projects and partnerships. And then there's a final presentation and celebration with the community partners and members. And a lot of times, this is the first time some of these students and families have accessed the university. So part of the goal of this is to break down those barriers between the community and the campus and really make the community, like you were saying, Estela, a place that these students and families can see themselves, right? And then I'm starting to move into integrating more intentionally contemplative practice in this, and that's, I think, where I'm hoping to go in the future and in my next steps. So, thank you.